Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us in this space that we are creating to help educate and entertain in all areas of real estate.
So get ready to get real with Jen and Shell. I'm Jennifer Jobe with Cardinal Financial.
And I'm Shelly Woodbridge with Exit Realty of Lubbock.
Today we're going to talk about the top 5 things that you need to be doing if you're wanting to purchase a home in 2025.
Yes, buying a home is something that takes time, and proper planning makes it way less stressful than it could be. Establish your timeline.
Yes.
What do you think is like the ideal timeline to start planning?
I mean, I really think that like 6 to 9 months ahead of like when you're ready to buy is a good time to start planning. Now, life be life in sometimes. And so we have to sometimes pivot that. You may be like, hey, we have a baby coming. We got to go right now. We want to be in the new house before we're in that last trimester, whatever the case may be. You may have some kind of sudden job change. So this may be like a 3-month process, a 30-day process. But if you have some time, 6 to 9 months is really ideal.
Amazing. I agree with that wholeheartedly, because having that timeline established not only gives us an opportunity to clear things up on step number 2 that nobody's going to like to talk about, and that's credit.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like my least favorite C word.
It's your least favorite?
Mm-hmm.
I have one that's way worse.
Anyway.
No, but seriously, y'all, credit is such a necessary thing. And I like to think of credit as like my fantasy football team. You have to have all of your players in action working for you, because if they're working against you, you're going to have a tough season.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I like to view credit. It just makes it more fun for me, because credit's not fun, if I'm being honest. It's not fun.
And we have some great partners that do make it very, very fun.
Thank goodness for her.
Yeah, specifically one specific thing.
Almost specifically she wears a cape. Yes. She knows all things credit. We love her. Y'all will be meeting her soon.
Definitely.
She's amazing though. So if y'all need credit help, holler. Yes. We'll hook you up with our girl.
So one of the best ways to check your credit, just to know what's on there, is go to myfico.com. You have to pay for all 3 scores. So I think it's like $30. It's the middle option on myfico.com. They are not paying us to say this, but they should.
Really should. The number of clients I've sent to myfico.com over the last 7 years.
So many.
But
it will tell you a deeper FICO. It'll show you something that's more similar to what a mortgage lender is actually going to pull, because there are different levels. So if you're just checking an Experian app or you're looking at Credit Karma, those types of things are wonderful, but they don't necessarily tell the whole story. And so in mortgage, we dig a little deeper because you're borrowing hundreds of thousands of dollars to purchase a home. And so we want to make sure that everything is good, that you are a strong borrower. And so if you pull that MyFICO and you have any questions at all, just get with me or get with Shelly. We'll connect you to a credit expert if you need one. But we know all the things that we can do to make it way better.
Yes, we have seen a thing or two, a time or two, and we are so familiar with that. And I personally feel that it is absolute crap, that it's our credit score and we have to pay to have access to it.
Yes.
But it's the only way that you're going to get access to this particular score that mortgage lenders access and reference is to pay for it. And it's so frustrating. And that score, I will tell y'all right now, historically, that score is typically lower than what you see on Credit Karma, because that's your FICO 8, and they give that away for free because it's more like your consumer. It's your consumer score.
But caveat, I guess, if anybody ever pulls your credit, you do have access to a free credit report every single year. Yes. And so once your credit has been pulled, you can go on and get a full copy of your credit report and take a look and just see what's on there. And if you have questions about how to do any of that, just reach out.
Yeah, we're happy to help you with that too. The better the credit score,
the better the rate.
The better the rate. And we definitely all want the best rate that we possibly can.
So now let's talk about budget. It is important for you to take a look at all of the things that you're paying out and all of the money coming in and decide where would I be comfortable? Like, what is my top dollar for my mortgage? And when I'm paying a mortgage, I want to know I'm paying my principal, my interest, my taxes, and my insurance. And so, and association dues if you have any of those. And so that is a key factor when you're thinking about budgeting.
Yeah, for sure. And I get it. Nobody likes to look at a budget because it feels like parameters, like we're putting you in a box. Listen, I'm not a roll girl. I don't like rolls.
You understand? I don't like it. I don't like to think about it.
I like flying by the seat of my pants and being surprised about what's happening because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm usually just as surprised as she is about what she's saying.
Yeah. It's great. It's amazing. It's a good adventure. Do it for the plot, but not when you're trying to buy a house.
When you're trying to buy a house, you just want to make sure that you understand what you want to pay.
Yes.
And then it's important that once you've kind of got an idea of what you want to pay, that you do step number 4.
Number 4. And that is probably one of the most important steps because we can't do anything without this step. And that is getting pre-approved with the lender.
Yes.
They have to give us the green light. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak if you go look at homes that you cannot get pre-approved for because that monthly payment is disrespectful. We don't want that. Nobody wants broken hearts around here.
Nope.
But
since you already know that what dollar amount that you want to spend each month, then a good lender will take a look at your credit. They'll take a look at your income. They'll take a look at all of your documentation, and they'll ensure that you're falling right into place with what you want to purchase. Now, if you say, I want a $2,000 payment, and after reviewing, your debt to income is a little too high, and debt to income is literally just all the debts that are on your credit and your income that you have coming in. Whenever you take a look at all of that, if there's something that you can pay off at closing or you can pay off ahead of time, then the lender should visit with you about the best ways to go about that so that you can get into that budget that you really want.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's
important.
So there's, on the real estate side of it, there is like always this huge debate. Pre-qualification versus pre-approval.
Oh, yes.
Is one better than the other? And what do you recommend?
Yes. Pre-approval is always better. So pre-qualification is you go online, you fill out an app, you tell them all the information, and they're like, you're approved. Well, they've looked at nothing. And so once you send in all of your documentation to a lender and they've had a chance to review everything and then make sure that you're following like all the guidelines, all the things, then you're in a better position for a pre-approval. You can even take it a step further and go all the way through underwriting initially. It usually takes a little longer to get that pre-approval in that sense. And so I think that that's a key to like really understanding, because you may be pre-qualified with an online lender, but they've looked at nothing. And so then by the time you're ready to go make an offer in a house, you may not qualify for that house.
And so that can be pretty devastating. I've seen that kind of play out time and time again with one particular online lender who shall remain nameless because we're not here to speak poorly.
No.
But if you have questions and want specifics, I can tell you in private.
We just try to be as transparent as possible. And so I think that that's the key when you're picking your lender. Just find somebody that is going to listen to you, that's going to take in everything that you're saying into consideration, and that makes you feel at ease. And so, if you come to me and I make a joke and you don't laugh and I look uncomfortable and you're uncomfortable, totally get it if you were going to go down the street.
Like, you have the best sense of humor. What? No.
Sure.
I laugh. I think it's great.
So then that brings me to step 5.
Oh, yeah.
Find your amazing realtor. Here she is.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Yeah, man. And there are some phenomenal realtors right here in Lubbock, Texas, y'all. Mm-hmm. We have about 1,800 active licensed realtors.
Wow.
It's a lot of us.
That's a lot.
Like you can't throw, what was that saying? You can't like throw a quarter without hitting one. It's not too country. It's fine.
Not real country.
To get really country, my bad. I would say 300 of that 1,800 do real estate full time.
Okay.
And of that 300, about 200 of them are pretty up and know their stuff. We've had a lot of changes in our industry over the last year. Like we're all just kind of flying by the seat of our pants most of the days. But interview your realtor. I mean, obviously, holler at me. I would love to serve you, but I realize that I may not be the best fit for you. If, everybody's different. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's totally okay. But interview at least 3 realtors. I think it's highly important to do that because this person is an advocate for you. They are going to be spending a lot of time with you. We're going to be on the phone together a lot. We're going to be back and forth. We're going to all be talking about your goals, the realtor, your lender, you, and anyone else that we have to bring in to be a part of our tribe during this process. We all have to be able to communicate very clearly. And I think it's so important to have someone that you feel comfortable doing that to, because if you don't,
it makes it real awkward. And I think that it's important to know that we build a really strong relationship. Like me and Shelly prefer a strong relationship. So we want to know about your kids and your dog and your cat and your fish.
Or goat.
Yeah, we don't know what you've got. Or several goats that one time.
Lots of goats.
Yeah. And so that kind of breathes some life into our side too, because we care. Yes, we have to know the numbers, and yes, we have to do all the legal stuff, and we get that. And that's why you hire us, because we are experts in that field. But we also just care about you. And so we want to make sure that when you're finding your realtor or you're finding your lender, that they also are caring about what you're saying and they're listening to you. So,
yeah, we want to love on you. We want to take care of you.
We want to be besties.
We do. And we realize that once we close on the transaction and you go on with your life, but we stay in touch. You're not going anywhere. But I also want to point out that a lot of people don't realize that realtors take time every week, if not daily, to build relationships with lenders. We are constantly building relationships with various lenders throughout the community. Same thing with title companies, same things with inspectors, plumbers, electricians. We are constantly out building relationships. And I know that Jennifer does the same. Because if we don't have that community of communication behind us in this industry, when it comes to that 11th hour and there's a crisis and you don't have anyone to call.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough. I remember when I first started and I didn't have the community that I have now behind me. It was rough. It was panic city. I'm nobody see me sweat, but behind the scenes, I was calling everybody, help. I don't know what to do. And now I have a guy. So that's always a joke. I sound like I'm in the mob, but I'm I know a guy.
No, I know a girl. She knows a guy.
I know a girl. Yeah, it's fine.
We got all the things.
I got people. Well, and I often, anytime one of my clients does a trade or anything, and I'm oh man, you shouldn't have told me that. I collect people. If you're on my list, I'm going to put you to work. And then I do. And I do.
Every time.
Every single time. Okay. Let's recap the top 5 things that you can do if you want to buy a home or make a move in 2025. And the very first thing, timeline. Establish that timeline on you when you want to move that is ideal for you and your family.
Yes.
And number 2,
credit. Know your credit, know what's coming out, know what's reporting, understand what's happening.
Looking at you, my FICO.
Yes, myfico.com. Feel free to sponsor us.
Right there. We're available.
Number 3,
budget. We got to know money coming in, money going out, because basically that's establishing your DTI that you're going to need for step 4.
Preapproval
with a lender who's amazing. I highly recommend Jennifer Joe. Yeah.
If I can't help you, I also will let you know if you need to go down the street. I know several lenders. They're so amazing. And so it's nice to have that referral partner, even in the same industry.
Yes, 100%. And she will do it. If she knows that there's a better option for you with a different company, different lender,
I'll connect you.
She's connecting you because you know what? We don't gatekeep. And we really do want what's best for you. And then number 5.
Pick your favorite realtor.
Oh, hi.
There she is.
Yeah. Hi, hello, how are you? Yes, finding the right realtor is essential to finding the right home for all of your needs, anything like that. Someone who's going to have your best interest, who knows the market, who knows the contract, and who can really just see you through the end and knows people to get the job done.
Yeah. Find those personalities that mesh.
Heck yeah. All right.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
It was great. It was a good time. I had a blast.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll catch you next time.
And the only time we don't mind you pushing our buttons is right now. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Please leave that in.